Hello, everybody,
roll
and
20 is
welcome
required.
to the show. Roll 20 is like an option, really. We don't. I
It's
mean,
true.
I mean,
Scott can't be able to make maps.
well, I tried going to Battlegrounds and being like, "Hey, I run an F ton of campaigns. I do it on multiple channels, so on and so forth. I'll be more than happy to transport everything from Roll20 over to Battlegrounds if you want to do some degree of sponsorship." And they're like, "We don't really do sponsorship." And I was like, "No, no, you don't understand. I don't need your money. Just give me all the stuff." just more or less like, we unlock all of your stuff for you. Thank you so much for using this one. And they were like, yeah, we don't do that. And I was like, so what do you do for the company? And the guy was like, I write the code. And I was like, oh, I'm not talking to the marketing person. No, I'm bad at this networking thing. No. I was like, I thought you seemed to be a bit odd, you know, lacking some basic social skills. It's
like when people interact with you.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, I write code, so you know it's one of those things. I was like, we connect on some strange level. Oh, I get it now. Oh.
Oops. Yeah. You hate people too.
Like, oh, shucks. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. I was instructed by friends of mine to say, hey, if you want to be super awesome and support the stream, you obviously don't have to, but if you choose to use bits, use Subway bits because it comes with an extra juice. Okay, moving on.
And it's also worth noting, like, subs. Some subs are half price at the moment, right?
Yep.
Tesh,
Well,
you know more than me, right?
Everything but gift subs. Gifts, but if you do get a gift sub, you can continue that gift sub for half price. Before the
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, if you're continuing because it expired, say September 24th or something like that.
even that, but also I believe you can actually, like, if you have a gifted subscription, you can go in and like say I want to add an extra month to it.
Oh, actually, I
For
didn't
half
know
price,
that.
that's nice.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
what I've been told.
And the other half of the price is still paid by Subway. It goes to Scott.
And let's be clear. We all remember what Jared did. All right.
Why do we have to move it in that direction? Let's just move on.
More importantly, let's talk about the arrangements for today, Scott, which is, as it's September, obviously, you have all of our addresses, and you've arranged for all of us to have Subways arriving.
Actually, no. Jared is going to visit each one of your houses one at a time.
No.
I have kids, Scott, so
I'm just saying, Jared is going to swing by to each one of your houses. He's on temporary leave from prison.
So yours first? Your house first?
He already came.
Oh no, this is so wrong.
Please. Stop.
like did you see me desperately try to steer it away from, like, Scott just like destroying stream? I'm like, maybe we'll be a bit professional and promote Subway, and Scott's like, nah, Peter first.
Yeah, no, I should have fucking
Fuck's sake. This guy, why does he have so many followers?
Because I say what others are too afraid to.
Can we just continue on with the slaughtering of us, please?
Yeah, I suppose it's probably a good idea.
I believe you might have already been slaughtered, actually, Tesh.
No, technically.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited to spend some more time with you learning how to generate new characters in the Pathfinder system.
Did you see what my tweet for the stream was?
But I'm going to now.
It was Dean from Supernatural face down saying, "Screw consciousness." That's what I say.
All right, so should we pull it into the actual combat or whatever? All right, we can transition.
I think we're good.
No, it's fine. We'll transition everybody there. There we are. And if we want to remember the initiative, it was this right here. Just as a reminder, in case you're like, why does it say 14-1? That was how many rounds left one had on his enlarge, I think it was. What was no, what was the first ability that you did that lasted only?
It was the Burning Blood.
Burning Blood. That's how long you had left on that one. So it was one more. So more or less, this upcoming turn you have it for, and then it's the I think it's at the beginning of the following turn it goes away. So, all right, cool. Now let us go. We good? Good. I think we are. Oh, that was loud.
Daelric is asleep. Holy moly! That was like a good 30-second pause.
That was
before... It was like Sil gift subs, and Daelric's like, oh shit!
Give it some coffee.
I want more coffee.
I got my coffee. My mug that's like the size of a part of my head.
That is actually. It looks like. I bet that's a large mug, but it looks so small because you look like you have like boxer's hands. Like, do you have big hands?
Reasonably.
I was like, you actually look like you might have some decent sized mitts over there. So.
Remember my hilarious joke? I hate to break it to you, Tesh, but all mugs are the size of a part of your face.
Touche.
All right, I'm good. Let's pick up where we were last time. Let's remind ourselves what happened. Okay, Rayron, you sir are well, you're in the middle of a combat with some bad people, and I believe you got hit so far only one time. It was by a spell. It hurt, and you're like, ouchies. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. You were stunned for a bit, but then you were able to recover. Dazed for a bit. Yep, you were able to recover and been able to participate in the fight afterwards. You and friggin' what's his name over here? Orsugo have been like Battle of the Titans, just clashing like. I'm totally lazy and was like, I'm not going to adjust the map. I've held it exactly where it was. No reason to adjust the map and change the fact that there's these trees are actually buildings. You guys are in the woods. And Valorant literally got stuck up over off to the side in his own little mini combat for a moment, and then finally was able to come through. And as soon as he arrived, he's like, "I'm gonna cast a spell." Spell didn't really work out, and he got the shit kicked out of him by a 30-foot long spiked chain. Just hits him, and now he's at 0 health points and staggered.
I blocked it, but it's a chain, so it whipped round.
Yeah, he like put his hand out and it just goes straight in the head.
It's
like pivots around the hand.
It's like when mom used to come at you with the belt and you try to like throw up your arm to block it, but it would just like smack you anyways.
It makes it whip it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like.
This is how we're going to do all our future kingdom combat. Like whenever we have a problem, we'll march our army to whoever it is, and then we'll unleash the Megazork.
It would be funny if you had like almost like a apparatus.
And they both release their Megazorks and they fight out, and that's how you actually deal with contests of combat in this society.
I'm telling you, you get an apparatus of Qualish-esque device to be created, and each one of you just take up like a Voltron-esque like
yes,
get that Megazork thing really going for you. All right. So anyways, Norway said your mom came at you with a belt. Oh, a belt is not where it started, and it's not where it stopped.
Weirdly sexual, Scott.
That. Okay.
Ew, dude. It's not England. We're not the ones that had the incest problem, man. That's you people.
That's not what the rest of the world thinks.
Well, there is the Bible Belt.
Some of your like farmhouses down in Texas.
My apologies. There is the Bible Belt, and to be clear, the entire planet was created with just one man and one woman that had children that made everybody else.
Yeah, they didn't really think that one out.
No, they really didn't.
There's a snake involved as well, though. So
there was what?
Good. There's a snake involved as well, though.
Oh, so yeah, hey-oh. All right, so anyways, let's stop being off topic and actually get into the... Can somebody on YouTube want to jump clip this to now? Let's just skip all of that. Just jump and clip. Show starts at this time. What's that? 9 minutes and 52 seconds? All right, so anyways...
Is it? Huh? This is a dumpster fire stream and you know it.
Yeah. So, Rayron, it is your turn. You had top of initiative 23. So you're 23 and me. You're good to go. Why don't you get us started?
Take a free 5-foot step up that way.
Sure. You were already able to hit him where he was, just so you're aware, but you may have just wanted to step where you did.
Yeah, he wanted to step there so you're inside the minimum range of the thing, didn't you? Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't ruin it, Tash.
And I will spell strike with acid splash. I think. Let me just confirm. So much reading to do, because Pathfinder is a system that apparently wants you to read a lot. It has to be a free melee range of touch, so I can't do that. I don't believe. I cannot. I shall simply smack the fellow.
I shall simply smack the fellow, he says.
Have at ye, sir.
Do you do your magical blade or thing?
Have at ye, sir. I'm gonna add a luck dice to that crit confirm. Can I do that? Is that allowed?
You're allowed to press the button.
Oh fuck! I don't think that'll do it. Don't think that'll confirm.
An 18 confirms.
Yes.
Right. Will it roll double damage for me? I don't know. Probably won't.
It will. It'll handle it for you, I believe. Yeah, because it shows on the right hand side.
Nice,
It's
yeah.
gonna be.
Nice.
Oh god. Okay. Okay, that's okay. You know, that's the thing that just transpired. We're all good. Everyone's who's panicking? I'm not panicking. Who's panicking? You're panicking. No, you're panicking. No, you're panicking. No, you're panicking.
Now we can't see the bottom of chat, it seems. What?
What? What are you talking about?
Silencio just said now we can't see the bottom of chat, it seems.
Can't see the bottom of chat.
It'd be roll 20 chat.
No, roll 20.
But we are up to date.
Yeah.
On roll 20. That's the latest roll.
Yeah, but it shows the damage. Yeah. The luck die it shows and everything else. Yeah, it's all good. All right. So what else are you doing there, Neil boy?
Remind me if there is anything else I can do. I have a swift action remaining.
Correct, unless you free 5-foot stepped and you just did a standard action attack. You didn't like one of your one of your full round action. Okay, cool. Okay, well then you just did a lot of damage. Your turn's over. Let's skip. Valoran, it's your turn, sir. Valoran, let's move on.
Bleeding profusely, is going to step down off the horse so that he doesn't then do what he's going to do and then be on a horse with no control of the horse. Because that'll be bad.
I have to remind you, you have a single move or standard action. Dismounting off the horse is a move action, meaning that you don't get a standard.
Fine, I guess I'm staying on the horse.
Unless you care to do a ride check as a DC 20 and get off as a swift action, as a free action.
No. Shut up, Scott.
No, I think you can make it. I think you can make it.
No. So then Valoran, bleeding profusely, his last act is going to be to throw another snowball at it.
Please miss.
Luck it.
Oh, damn.
Luck it. Luck it. Luck it. Luck it. Luck it.
Luck it?
Luck it.
You sure?
Luck it.
Okay.
Why are we lucking it?
Don't shush you. Luck it. Don't listen to Scott. He's the devil.
Okay. I'm listening to you. I'm going to luck it.
Okay. There you go. It's an 18 AC. He just said it earlier.
Oh, okay. You're right.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Look at that little,
Wait,
little evil face.
I wouldn't have needed to. Damn, why? Because I have +1 to hit and +1 damage within 30 feet.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm going to give you your luck die back.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I didn't realize that.
And I'll say this. I never said he had an 18 AC. I said an 18 AC before he went
18.
rage and then
That's
got
to
enlarged.
confirm.
No, you
Yeah.
just said he has an 18 AC to crit confirm.
I said crit.
Yeah,
you said
but-
you crit confirmed with 18.
Yeah, I think that crit confirm goes off his normal AC. His other things are negatives to his AC because he's big.
Oh,
No, you crit confirm is just your current AC. You just have to beat it.
Correct, unless you have some sort of magic item or spell or something like that,
okay.
or a feat or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. But we talked about Forever Go in chat because
Either one.
Jake and I were talking. It was a base 18 -2 is a 14, but that's fine. So
Okay.
fair.
so go ahead, you throw a snowball at him.
14 damage, and he has to make a fortitude saving throw.
What's the DC?
It's the first time I've landed one of these in literally like a month and a half. How do I go about figuring that out again?
And he's
In the s-
staggered for a round.
In the spells, and he's got the minus strength thing currently.
He's staggered?
And he's staggered. So is that 14 AC, 14 damage?
Yep.
This is scary. Hold on. I have to check something out. Hold on.
Your connection to the server has been interrupted.
Yeah, mine just struggled
Okay,
a little
okay.
bit.
That'll be fine.
Good, so he's staggered. And
Okay,
that
thank
with that, I dropped to -1 health.
Salute.
Oh,
And he's conscious on a horse.
I need to check something really quickly. My apologies, because this is something that's going to take effect. So we lose this, and in doing that, that drops down there. Okay, so this goes to here. Right.
What?
Okay. So that sucks.
Yeah, he's staggered, so he can either move or attack, not both.
No, he's not staggered.
What?
Is he dead?
Describe the throw of the snowball and the fall of the character.
Okay, wait. Bring up his picture again for a second. Because I have an idea about how I want this snowball to go. Okay, good. Yes, that's what I thought it was going to be. So you see how his hammer axe thing has like spikes on both ends? I want him to be rearing it up to attack, Rayron, and the snowball hits it, knocking it into his head and impaling himself with it.
Knocking him completely unconscious, lying there, bleeding on the ground. Okay. So obviously everybody immediately sees him, go down and whatnot, and that's yay. He, long live the dead guy. Sort of a scenario.
He's an orc, right? So doesn't he have one more?
He's a half orc, and this isn't 5e,
Yeah.
so he doesn't just get to continue standing. Am I wrong?
No, but he's not. If he drops below neg, he's still okay. Or you have, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're wrong, sir. I'm double checking right now. Orc
Orc
ferocity,
ferocity,
once per
that's
day.
what I
If you
had.
drop below 0 health points, but not killed, you can fight for one more round as if disabled. Oh yeah. And it goes into his head.
Has it exceeded his con though? Because if it's exceeded his
It
con,
hasn't
he's
exceeded
dead.
his con yet.
Okay, but does that mean he's still staggered so he can't move and attack?
He's still staggered, so he only has a standard action.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Let's attempt to weather this attack. Actually, no, I'm in base contact. He can't hit me with a reach.
A spike chain is a weapon that can hit immediately adjacent to you and far away.
Don't believe you.
That's one of the that's one of the perks of a spike chain. Because it's an exotic weapon, so it requires additional proficiency to be able to pull that off. Yeah. So, he is actually going to. He's large size, so spike chain is doing the wrong damage, I think. Anyways, so 1 second. I should rather just press weapons. That'd be easier. Weapons, battle axe usually does D8. Where's weapon damage from size? Where are you? Scrolling. There we go. So D8 becomes 2D6. Cool. So we're gonna do that really quickly. And Neil, I'm coming for you, baby.
Nothing. The rules about this.
Unless
it's a feat.
Isn't that my go next? I believe.
No, he's. Oh, Oh, fuck. It is you. Oh, it is you next. No, he's after you. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's fine, because I actually have something else. Awesome. My apologies. So after that is going to be this guy that's over here. His turn is literally spent kind of running up to being more or less where he is here. He's just barely in sight. Nothing crazy. Da-da-da-da-da. Actually, I think he's still technically out. Kind of like next turn, it brings him up a little bit further because of how it was that Valorant was so far away and riding a horse. So it's next turn it would bring him up because Valorant is obviously moving quicker. All right, and that brings us to the next thing, which is all of a sudden... Bam. Somebody else pops into initiative that you otherwise hadn't seen prior.
Oh, fuck's sake.
And the reason why this person pops into initiative is because all of a sudden you see there is a... it looks like they're... you can't see like their features perfectly. You're going to have to make a perception check. We can roll that in a second. Comes riding up on a horse. But as they're riding up on a horse, the horse that they're riding on is not a typical steed. Not one that you would generally see as my brain's not working. Not riding up on a typical horse that you would see like, black mane, fur, and everything. No. The horse is actually comprised of a deep, dark purple. It is also somewhat translucent. Like as you're looking at the horse as it's riding up, you can actually kind of see through the horse. Much like as if it was like a bad green screen effect going on, right? And so you can kind of like see through the horse. Kind of like this effect. You can kind of see through it. You can kind of see through it, but
That's really weird for me comparing it because he's just like black on the stream, but he's like minty for me.
So anyways, So the horse, my apologies, he comes riding with a rider on top of it. And riding behind that horse is a similarly large and similarly colored wolf. That's riding alongside of it. This steed with the person on it, this wolf behind it, come immediately riding up and down towards the where it is that Orsugo is. As he's doing so, as that's all happening, the person riding starts chanting Orshapokara, clearly reading off of a spell. And you see happen. Oop, I did that wrong. Sorry. And a fire starts to erupt from, fortunately for you, one of you, immediately adjacent to Valorant. Unfortunately for Rayrin, he had stepped up and stepped into where it is that the fire happens to be being summoned. A line of fire just starts roaring across the battlefield. The way that the fire works is it's going to be having its heat effect is going to be going fire this direction. So the heat effect of the wall of fire is going to be going in this direction over here. As the fire just appears out of nowhere and starts roaring. Immediately as it appears, I need every creature within 10 feet of it, that includes you, Jake. You immediately take 2d4 points of damage, which I'll roll for you in a second. And all creatures inside of the fire instead take a different amount. So for you, Jake, you immediately take 2d4 points of damage.
So do I not take damage because I'm on that side of it?
Because you're on the safe side. You take 5 points of damage for one. As for you, Neil, I'll make sure I'm doing this right. What's the correct number? Sorry, sir. Don't die. Okay, that's not bad. 11 points of damage for you. As the heat just immediately consumes you. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill you. Unfortunately, you're still inside the fire.
I'm unconscious.
Correct. Now, an important thing to note is that the fire's heat does stretch out 20 feet, which means that the safe zone is beyond this line here. So you would want to get past where this line is. Sorry, because it's corner to corner. So you'd want to get past where this line is to be in a safe spot. So you're not getting eaten by that 2d4 damage every round. So this is what happens, is that the person comes riding in with this like phantom wolf next to it, comes riding in on his steed, and comes all the way up to Orsugo, casting the spell and throwing the fire up there. Now, Orsugo can't do anything quite just yet. It's not his turn yet, and the guy doesn't have the opportunity to quite ride off yet. So they're both right there. That's going to be the end of their turns, and bringing it over to One's turn. Now, One, you still have all of your effects in place. They're both still within reach. You could easily step up, be within reach. You can easily take another hit. There's no concern about that. You could attack the caster that has to concentrate on the spell to keep it up, or you can attack the guy that's there, whatever it is. But what you do know is that Rayrin is unconscious and inside the fire. It's your turn, sir.
Okay. Well. What's Rayron's health at the moment?
You don't really know. You know that he was burned so much that he dropped. The heat was too much for him and he fell. And he's currently inside of a wall of magical fire.
You put me in a bad spot, Scott.
I do that a lot. It's almost like it's my job. So long as the bad spot is entertaining.
Alright, so he's gonna move. So what is the caster? If I try and hit him, it could disrupt concentration. Is that what you're saying?
The caster, correct. Now, mind you, I don't know what your speed is. You would have to get into range of him, which means I think you need to move 15 feet to be able to.
I'm fine to do that.
To hit this guy. But if you miss, or if he succeeds his concentration check.
Okay. You fucking bastard. Do I have anything I can do? Let me have a look. I'm gonna have to move up and throw Rayron to the other side of the fucking fire.
So you move up to Rayron. So you can honestly...
where do I want to move? Hang on.
That's a free 5-foot step to get into a range where you can reach Rayron because you're large, tall, so he's within your reach. And even this square is large, tall, so once again, that I would say you can move there as a free 5-foot step. You can spend your move action to grab Rayron from here and to move him here, similar to like picking up an object and putting it down.
I would like to move...
And you would
to
still
the
have
other side of the fire, and I have 10-foot reach, and grab Rayron and fucking throw him to the other side.
Okay, you want to do that
That's what
one?
I would like to do.
Okay.
Yep.
You are currently standing in the fire.
I believe I am on the other side of the fire, where it's not.
Your square, this corner square, isn't still inside the fire.
You just want to fuck things over, don't you, Scott? I'm going to have to move up. I'm going to have to take the stupid damage, and I have to throw him to the other side.
You don't have to take damage. You can stand here and do it.
There was a. He's
Well, you take less damage. You can take less damage and stand here and do it. It's up to you.
No, I'm going to... Because I need to put myself in a position that Osugo can't get away without taking an attack of opportunity.
If you're here, he's still within your range of attack of opportunity because you're large-sized.
Yeah, but you're trying to jip me because you're going to 5-foot step, and I'm going to be like, no, not happening.
I'm not going to say one way or the other what can happen next. I'm just going to let you make your decision. And you started off, I believe, your square was right here. So you can free 5-foot step here and use your move action to move him if you'd like.
Oh, so you're saying I can use my move action to move him?
Correct.
Oh, right, so I can still attack.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to outright tell you. I was like, please fuck up.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
I was like,
Yeah,
I will just give you the facts.
This whole time. When you...
I was just like, I'll give you the facts. Hopefully it doesn't fuck up. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let me try and throw him out of that radius with my move.
Yep, you can grab him and move him realistically easily. You can move him from here to here, and that's perfectly safe. So why don't
Yeah,
you...
that's what I do.
we can move Rayron there. And so Rayron's unconscious and kind of safe. We'll deal with the rest of it in a moment. You still have your standard action, and you still have your swift action. Would you like to use your standard to feed a potion to Rayron?
No. He's out. He's out of the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to attack.
Damn.
Don't roll the one.
Boom. Get ended.
Fuck you, Asuga.
Cut his fucking head off.
Hang on, let me have a look at this damage.
Yeah, can't come back if you're beheaded.
46.
Fucking wrecked. Instantly dead.
He dead as fuck.
He was at -4, and as soon as he dropped unconscious, that would become a negative... sorry, he was at negative... my apologies. Let me do this math right. He was at -6, and as soon as he went unconscious, it became -14, which he still would have been alive with because his con is 16. You just brought him to -52, and because he fell unconscious, it's negative 60.
I would like to cleanly remove his head, so it rolls the other way from the fire.
And you do so. Its head pops off like the old dandelion thing. Mama had a baby and its head popped off. You know what I'm talking about? No? Okay, just me. So, so you top its head clean off. It goes tumbling and rolling out of the off of his shoulders and away from the fire. And the person that rode it up on the steed, unfortunately, did not get there in enough time. And they see their head, the head of Orsugo, fall off, and they look. And as soon as that happens, you can see that the wolf that was there before stops and starts walking up slowly towards the body, sniffing the body, and then stares daggers at one through the fire. I'll get to that in a moment. Orsugo, of course, dies. One, unless you did anything with your swift action.
To use something is a standard to use by any potions or anything like that, I think.
Correct, sir.
I don't have anything I can do.
But you do have the Mama's Rough on. So you can attempt to mimic Orsugo's voice from a different direction and send Wolfie Boy off looking for him.
Yes.
Can I actually just whistle? Do that?
The intimidation was something that you were talking about doing beforehand?
Yeah.
Why don't you get to, because you're trying to mimic the scream that happened earlier?
Yep.
Ah, yes.
That's
what I'm doing.
Why don't you give it a try?
Okay. It's a bluff?
It's actually performance. And then you can take your natty on your intimidation. Just tell me what it is.
I thought the Mama's Rough gave you a plus
I'm sorry.
to its bluff.
Okay, then you can do. My apologies. Then you can do that one. If that's how that one works, you do that.
Okay, so there's a plus 10 to this roll.
Oof. Where did that come from?
That's for the Mama's Rough gives you extra stuff for trying to mimic something.
Yeah.
I know, but plus 10 is a lie. I wasn't expecting it.
From
my
apologies.
uncharismatic orc friend.
So a plus 10, 18. Okay, that's a pretty good roll. Do you want to luck die that? Because I did give you.
It's 28.
I did give you your luck die back if you wanted to adjust that.
You said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You didn't apply that. Holy shit, that's a 28.
No, I didn't apply it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's a little different. All right. So the wolf is sitting there sniffing his corpse and starts staring daggers at you, and you do from like off to the side this like ear-piercing scream whistle like noise, which is kind of what dropped Rayrin beforehand. Do the best you can to try to imitate
it.
Yeah, imitate that, and then you you see the I suppose you'll see what happens when it's the wolf's turn. I'm actually rolling it into initiative right now. We'll see how that plays out. Ooh, actually has a really high initiative. You'll find out very soon what happens. So that's kind of the end of your turn, and we'll leave it at that. After that is going to be the orcs that are still asleep. And then finally, your people are going to show up on this round, which means I need to roll their initiative to see when it is that they show up. Initiative 17. So they actually are going to be able to go right after Valorin. And before the other orcs. Oh, that's cool. Well, no, let's see if they go. Who goes before the orcs? I'm going to roll 2d20. The first one's going to represent your people. The second one's going to represent their people. What do you mean by your people? And whoever has the higher one will get to go first. Wow. I guess your people are going to go first by a shit ton. Okay, cool.
Spur to action, seeing their chosen burnt, breathing raggedly in front of them.
Rayrin, it's your turn. I need from you, sir, a fortitude save. Oh, God.
Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy. Okay, you are actually stabilized at -2 health. You're good to go there. So you don't have to worry about anything else unless somebody harms you in some way. Okay? That's going to bring us to the wolf's turn. The wolf is going to hear that ear-piercing scream coming from on yonder and is going to look up and look about. And then it's going to turn and start running off in on yonder's direction. So it's going to turn and be like, okay, bye-bye. After that, it's going to remove that from initiative. Valorin, it is your turn. You are now unconscious and bleeding. Could you roll me a fortitude save, sir?
There it is.
You are stable and don't have to worry about anything, sir.
Nice.
It's now the archers' turns. The archers are going to come rushing in, finally, coming in and seeing everything that's happening, and they're immediately going to make their attack. So archers are going to be represented as in coming in down here, like bam, bam, bam. How many did you guys bring with you? Was it 5?
6.
No, because one you used as a messenger, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right, you did, yeah.
So 5 attacks with their modifiers. Oh, I did the wrong die. Hold on, start over. Wrong die. It's D10 for the crossbow. For damage. My apologies. So it's 5 attacks. I'm gonna do. Things are finally friggin' turning in your way.
Finally.
So
you guys been on the back foot this entire fight. I don't know what you're on about.
This orc comes rushing up, and they see it come rushing up, and like take 2 shots at it because it's on this side of the fire, so they can easily notice it. 2 shots at the orc, and the orc dies. They actually finish off the orc, killing it. Sorry. There we go. Dead. They also take shots at the guy on top of this horse over here. And actually, 2 of the shots hit the guy on the horse as well.
Oh my god. Crossbows are so deadly.
They are. One does 9 and one does 2 points of damage. A total of 11 points of damage. That guy is fucked up. But he does not drop. He is seriously messed up, but does not drop. I have to make
concentration checks.
I have to make my concentration checks.
Oh, they can't both be concentration, I guess.
Takes the first arrow, which is the 9 points of damage. Holds the spell. Takes the second arrow, which is 2 points of damage. Shoots him like right above his kneecap. It's just piercing pain. And then the spell starts to wane.
Yes.
And the fire
Crossbowman, yes.
goes up in smoke.
See? This is what soldiers are meant to do, not die to 4 orcs.
Yeah. Come on, guys. That was embarrassing. I'm glad they weren't our soldiers.
These ones are your soldiers, luckily.
Yeah, right?
And
They
then
came
the
in and
guy,
kicked ass. They did what the other guys couldn't do in one turn.
the guy seriously fluffed up on this steed, turns the steed, is like, "Kya! Ow! Don't kill out with that leg!" And the steed goes rushing off. Now, an important thing to note is that how fast does a steed move, Scott? Usually 50 feet is their base speed. They can usually have the run feet, so after a round of moving double move, they can move times 5, which is 250. However, this is no normal steed. This one moves at the rate of 110 feet is its base speed. In one round, it moves 220. It easily rushes very far away. So from where it was beforehand, Jake, it is no longer
Horses
here.
approach very fast.
It is no longer 20 feet away from you. It has gone that way, 220 feet. Immediately after its turn, it is one's turn. One. It is about 225 feet from you.
What's the range of a longbow?
You have a composite longbow, which is 110 feet for no penalty. 220 with a minus 2 chance to hit. So you can easily draw it as you move.
You know what would have been cooler is if I could, for some reason, throw my axe that far. He's just gonna try and he just drops his axe, draws his bow, and he's gonna just fire off a shot at the guy.
Okay, 2 things. One, with the shot you take off at the guy, obviously you move up some to close that gap, so you're gonna take a minus 4 to your attack roll. And important thing to note, because of the buildings and stuff like that that are here, they're actually, you're tall, and the buildings aren't very high. There are a lot of low buildings, but they do provide a degree of concealment from him. So there's a 20% mischance. Not 50, Neil. You're lucky. You're lucky I did 50 by accident. So I need you to roll a d10. What's up?
I hate to point this out, but...
Oh, there's one orc there.
Oh, he was supposed to attack you last turn. I will say that last turn, just so we don't retcon, he was like, when his master died and the fire and everything. Actually, he would have taken fire damage too.
Yes, he would have.
Where was that fire damage?
Man.
Hold on, let me just see exactly where the fire was.
It would have been... Yeah, no, he flat out would have, because he's the
It would have been
safety
2d4, 5 damage was rolled.
Yep. 1 second, just so we see that. He took 4 points of fire damage, and he probably would have actually run away, which because of the fire beforehand on his turn. One could have made an attack of opportunity against him, say he killed him and he died. Cool, whatever. Moving on. Thank you. It's fine. So why don't you make your...
Actually, can you let me roll an attack roll on him for like me just knocking him out instead of killing him?
Well, you have 2 that are knocked out.
It's a minus 4.
You have 2 that are knocked out right here.
There are 2 knocked out ones. Okay, sweet.
Yeah. They're still asleep. They're sleeping soundly.
They got sleep spelled by Neil at the beginning.
Good.
They actually still have they have about 4 rounds left of sleep spell.
All right, so you're saying this guy has a 20% mischance.
So choose roll a d10 first, and say 2 numbers before you roll. If you roll either of those numbers, you miss.
I was gonna say I shouldn't just roll the attack first. You just want me to just roll a d10?
Well, just roll a d10.
Okay.
Let's get the first dramatics out of the way.
All right, if it's a 1 or a 2.
I always get scared choosing adjacent numbers, even though it doesn't matter.
Oh, fuck.
This is anyway.
Now, I will be
Alas.
super nice. I'll say if you roll a natty 20, I'll allow it to hit anyways. You have a 5% chance, sir.
We've already rolled a lot of 20s.
All right. So you knock your arrow, draw, and then fire. And you see that arrow sailing over the sky, over towards where he is, and you're like, it's gonna fucking hit him. And then all of a sudden he happens to pass by one of the taverns, and boom! The arrow embeds into the sign on the tavern.
Can I make a command, like one command more or less at the crossbowman, just to like try and get one shot at him? I don't know what the range of a heavy crossbow is, or whatever crossbows they've got, but...
Sure, let's figure that out right now. A heavy crossbow's base range is 120 feet. So they can also take a shot with a -2 on their attack roll, so they only get a +1. So you give that command. It's the 2 sleeping orcs' turn. Rayron stable, Val stable. It's now the crossbowman's turn. They're going to take their shot with a minus, so they only have... So there's going to be a volleyed shot is how we're going to do it instead of... Wait, hold on. They're within 2 range increments, so we can do a volleyed shot instead.
What is that?
So instead of just having them all shoot, you can choose to have them do a volley. A volley is different. You commands the volley. So like, ready, aim, fire. And the way that a volley works is they just have to beat an AC of 10. And if they do, they hit an area. And the guy has to make a dexterity save for half damage. So he takes damage no matter what, unless he has evasion. Do you want to do a volley instead in hopes that they do enough damage or he fails his dex save so that it takes him out?
It would also hit the horse
guess,
then.
Yeah, I guess that's probably a good idea.
Okay. So you like, kind of like crossbowmen to me, ready your arrows sort of thing. And they come rushing over or whatever. And let's eliminate that. His turn is first before yours is again, which is fine. He's going to move another 220 because those things can't move times 5. So he moves another 220. And, they prepare their action, whatever. He's now, 440 feet away, about 430 feet away, somewhere in there, which is still within their range. And you have them ready their action, aim, and we're going to have you roll the attack roll, sir. Now, all you have to do is be an AC 10, because you're directing the attack. You can choose to use your charisma modifier.
I would not like to use my charisma modifier.
Use your BAB plus charisma or your BAB plus dexterity.
My BAB plus dex.
Okay.
So it's plus, what is it? It's just plus 3. So 1d20 plus 3.
Just gotta beat an AC of 10. Oh! Oh, roll. Oh! Kudos, sir. Kudos. Okay.
I really love the idea of this giant half-orc. All these tiny little men just...
So this is how it's going to work. You have 5 archers. So you meet the number to do 2d10 damage. If you had 10 archers, you'd do 3d10. You get to roll a slash 2d10 or however you want to roll it. And then I get my dexterity check.
Also, I like the idea that his first shot, he would have been like the size of a ballista. Like that arrow would have taken.
Oh.
Please tell me I get this guy, please.
I don't even get to roll a dexterity save, sir. You have half damage is more than I have in health.
Yes!
I also have to check up Phantom Steed and see how much health they have. So, oh god.
That was an ace roll.
That was at least the end of this fight was something out of fucking legend. Imagine these soldiers talking about the giant half-orc chosen of the sword, just saying to fire in 3, 2, 1 there, and they all just.
The steed though.
Hold on, the steed I'll make a dexterity check with. I'll open roll this.
Does it count as encumbered?
No. Wow.
The steed is dead as fuck.
The steed also discorporeates, which means the body, he gets pelted with 2 arrows, like a third one, like he passes through the steed, hits right in the center of its magic, and then his corpse tumbles to the ground off of a now discorporeated steed. So it's just like, let's recap the end of this combat, beginning of this session really quickly. Orsugo's standing there, and all of a sudden Rayring comes stepping up and does this like nasty attack. Where did you stab him again, Ray?
This was just like a slash across. Imagine the black blade. It has a big cutting edge. He just draws it across. Orsugo's a big meaty boy right now because he's huge. Like it's to the point where you can see like the muscle has clearly been cut through, and you can see a glint of white.
Gotcha. You gave him some serious hernias. So you go cutting through, and it's just like, And then as he's kind of like bent forward doing that, you see Valorant who steps up and puts caution to the wind, summoning this massive snowball in his hand, hurling it at the guy. But instead of hitting him, it hits like the edge of his weapon. So as it hits the weapon and explodes outwards, covering his face in snow and frost, kind of biting him with cold, the weapon goes, boom, hits him in the head. He stumbles backwards, seeing red and darkness all around him, but he's still standing. But you hear like gallop. It's soundless. The wolf and the horse are soundless. But you hear chanting as the phantom steed and wolf come riding up, and a huge wall of fire appears right on top of Ray, setting him aflame and dropping him to the ground. And then one steps up, grabs Ray, and tosses him tumbling off to the side for safety. So he's like rolling over to the side, limp, and then comes swinging down and drops his axe in a way to send his head cleanly off of his shoulders. As soon as that happens, the wolf like looks up at him and gives him a horrible look, and just like instinctively with his last breath, he sends out this strange whistle that sends the wolf running off to the side. Just as all this is happening, finally, your soldiers come rushing up to join the combat. See an orc coming up as well. Pelt the orc with a couple of bolts, and the orc drops. They see the guy on the horse, hit him with a couple of bolts, who immediately turns and starts riding off. One throws his axe into the ground, so the head's sticking in. Steps up, drawing an arrow, taking aim and firing, and hitting a sign, missing. But he's a leader of men, not just a warrior himself. Calls his soldiers to his side, says, "Men, ready! Take aim! Fire!" And then all of a sudden the bolts come raining down on the guy and just send him tumbling to the ground. The battlefield is a decisive win. Everyone of note is everyone of note is still standing. Anyone else is just lying on the ground unconscious. As one presides over the battlefield, standing literally over the body of what's his name there? Orsugo.
Okay, immediately one orders one of the guards. He says, "Fetch." He points at the guy they just killed. He goes, "Drag the corpse here." He says to two others, "I want you to restrain the two sleeping orcs. They are to be restrained. I want them alive." Then he will get, I think that's 5. All right. So then he goes over and he will give potions to both Rayron and Valorant. So let me tell you what they are. What have I got, actually? Do you guys have any, does Rayron have any potions on him? If I just have a look.
Let me have a look for you, mate. I have a cure medium wounds on me. Bearing in mind, Baron does have more HP than me.
And then he goes and he kills those 5 soldiers to make sure that nobody saw the other 2 commanders on the ground.
No, so he would feed Neil, Rayron his own, and Tesh, he would do a cure moderate out of his own inventory. So,
okay.
Cure moderate is, what is it?
Let me check for you.
It's fine. As long as I don't see 1 on the ground in the battlefield.
Cure moderate wounds is 2d8 plus.
We're there to support him. That's why he was the giant one.
Plus 1 per caster level, which in this case would be. I'm looking at the spell, so I don't know how it works.
2d8 plus 3.
Cool, thanks.
Neil, do you want to roll yours, and I'll just roll for Tesh? Oh, unless you want to roll your own health.
Oh no, roll for me.
Roll for us. Roll for us. We don't want to take this away from you.
Connect 4.
2d8 plus what?
3.
I'm gonna make a macro for you guys for those.
Thanks.
First one is for Rayron.
During the break.
Yes.
Connect 4.
13.
Oh, so much HP. I'm basically up to nearly fighting fit.
Damn.
And
I got no HP.
5.
That's fine.
He doesn't wait.
What?
He doesn't wait for them after the guards are secure. Secure the
Hold on.
he's
I want to
immediately-
repaint the scene for you for a second.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Valorant in weeks. He's been missing for weeks. And out of nowhere, Valorant comes riding in on a horse, aids you in combat, and then drops to the ground. So when you rush over to him to give him the potion, it's literally your first time being this close to him, which is like nursing him. Oh, it's so cute. In weeks. And I imagine as you're literally giving him the potion, like while you're over there doing that, kind of like holding his head and blah, 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 you actually also will reduce down the size. Like, so just to paint the scene correctly. And then, of course, you act however you think your character would.
He's not really even talking to either of them at the moment. After that, he yells out to a guard to fetch a horse.
Okay.
And he's going to loot Orsugo and look at that battle axe that he's got.
Okay.
Rayron would interrupt you when you go to do that. He'd like stagger up to his feet and say, "One, take the head to the front. They need to see that their commander's fallen."
He says, that's why I asked for the horse. He said, I'm having the body tied to the horse. We're going to drag it behind it.
Wait, and I'll like get off my horse.
Yeah.
Take.
We'll catch up.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, so that was the plan, more or less, to take the head, tie the horse, tie the body to the horse, and then head for the front. Also, he's grabbing the Orsugo's battle axe. He doesn't know what it is, if it's good or not yet. But the other guard is also bringing that other caster over, and he will tell, he'll just say, Rayron, Valorant, check that one that just appeared. Take all of his possessions.
Yes, go. Go.
There was another one?
People need you.
Well, I'm going as soon as I am able.
Okay. So you grab the head, grab the horse, are going to head that direction yourself. Did you want the head, my apologies to catch up, did you want the head tied to the back of the horse, or are you going to ride the horse with the head? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's what we're doing.
I'll hold it.
So one
his body is tied to the back of the horse.
So while you're doing that, Val and Ray are going to stay behind while Run goes rushing ahead with the head.
Yeah.
And what?
As he rides off, he yells, "Don't kill those two orcs. I want them alive."
And as he rides off, Vara says, "Don't kill the other soldiers."
So do you grab another enlarged potion and pour it into the mouth of the headless, to keep it big for you, or do you let it shrink?
There's another. I did loot him, so what is
I was just teasing. You don't have enough time to. I imagine you don't have enough time to fully loot him. I imagine you go over, you grab up his axe, and you grab his head from the ground, and we could deal with the rest of the equipment later on.
You can loot him later, probably.
Okay, so you go rushing in that direction. Val and Ray, let's put the camera on you guys for a second. After we come back from this break.
Yeah, because I need to pee.
Can we go pee together?
Yeah, right.
All right, listen, I'm
totally pee in your mouth and you pee in the toilet.
I was gonna say, why don't we just stand in stalls immediately adjacent to each other, despite the fact that there's 11 open ones?
Yes, but not acknowledge each other.
Yeah. or do the better one. There's 11 open ones. You're standing at one end. I come walking all the way over. I stand immediately adjacent to you. And before I even finish whipping it out, I look at you and say, "Did you catch that game last night? It was ridiculous."
No.
I'll be right back.